The following podcast is a next level production.
So, let Carrington go, and then tell Bob Thompson that he's going to Minneapolis because he hates the cold. I mean, just tell him that.
Mr. Holloway, I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to take on whatever case you want to assign to me.
Your first case is the parole of Emil Blonsky.
Oh.
Also known as Abomination, Mr. Blonsky has been serving his sentence in an ultra-high security prison.
I'm very familiar with Mr. Blonsky, sir.
So you know there's a lot of controversy surrounding his possible release. This is extremely high profile. The publicity alone is worth A.K.A taking this on pro bono.
I'm sorry, but I can't represent him, sir. I have a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
Hey, panelists, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Steve.
And this is going to be a spoiler-full podcast about She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Season 1, Episode 2, Superhuman Law.
She's a superhuman lawyer, so, you know.
Yeah. Actually, that unfolds during this episode, if you think about it. So
Exactly, yeah.
What is the synopsis for this?
Very short and sweet. Jen is hired at a prestigious law firm, but must practice as She-Hulk and rep a complicated client.
Yeah, we all know who that client is.
Uh-huh.
Those of you who listened or watched Disney Plus's She-Hulk, you'll know. It's Emil Blonsky. And it was the guy who tried to kill her cousin Bruce Banner. Mm-hmm. But they actually have something cool in there. And we'll talk about that later, which I thought was pretty funny in how they made it canon.
Absolutely.
All right. So initial thoughts.
I loved it. I loved it. You know, it's a great setup for the rest of the season of where we're going to go. I don't know if this is going to be, the one trial or if we're going to have more than this. But I did want to say one thing. I rewatched episode 1. So I guess from what we see in this episode, she was just faking being drunk when Hulk revealed that Cap had sex with the chorus girl in 1943 on the USO tour. And she's like, Captain America, food. And that's all you get. So I thought that was great to get that. When I rewatched, I finally actually, I don't know if I blinked every other time or what, but I finally actually saw the middle finger scene when he throws her off the cliff, because I really paid attention because everybody had talked about it. I'm like, I didn't actually see it. I mean, I didn't doubt that it happened. I just wanted to actually see it for myself. And for sure, she flips in the middle finger as she's going off the cliff there. So this show is definitely a little bit more, at least in the dialogue, it's a little bit more adult.
It definitely more adult oriented. Obviously, if you people out there that have Disney Plus, if you have the kids or family oriented rating for it, you're not going to get it. You actually have to click that on. You actually have to click that on for who are allowed to watch it. So because they use 4-letter words, I don't think they're going to go so far as to actually drop an F-bomb in the season.
I
don't think they'll use an F-bomb.
They'll do that, but they
regardless,
we've definitely had other words that you don't want your kids necessarily spouting off in the middle of the grocery store.
Exactly. So I would think that this is one of those shows that they made for adults that grew up with the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Marvel Comics, or grew up with Marvel Comics and are adults now. So my feeling is, okay, great. That's awesome, because there are going to be certain characters, hence like Deadpool. You have to have certain characters like that. Now, mind you, within the MCU itself proper, if they wanted a PG-13 film, they're going to have to bleep out Deadpool. Really. Honestly. So, but, with my overall thoughts about the episode, I enjoyed it. It was kind of, okay, this is the next step of where we're going with where Jen is, because she basically went through that whole courtroom scene. She hulked out on Titania, attacked Titania protected people, but still got fired.
Mm-hmm.
And now she is offered a job at, what is it, GLK&H?
Yeah, something like that. GLH and K or K and H. I can't remember exactly what the letters were.
Yeah, I actually, it's pretty funny too, because Penny and Greg went through it, and Penny went through the whole thing on She-Hulk Cast on Podcastica, which is pretty cool. I got to listen to that, and I really enjoyed it. Not to give a cheap plug, but honestly,
I've got it queued up. I've got it queued up, but I haven't listened yet. So, but I've got it queued up.
Yeah, they're really good friends of ours. Penny was a lawyer at one point, and she broke it down. So if you like that idea and thought of a woman who was a lawyer and her thoughts about the show, listen to She-Hulk Cast on Podcastica.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just love the fact that it's like she gets fired, and it's like, oh wait, and there she is looking for jobs, but she's looking at like amusement parks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Nikki's there by her side. She does get hired. I love all that aspect, and of course they hire her because it's the superhuman legal
Superhuman
division.
Law Division. Yep.
Law
Superhuman
Division.
Law Division. Yep.
So, yeah, she gets picked up for that, and obviously she has to, represent Emil Blonsky, who is the Abomination. And I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that for the fact that it brings a lot of stuff into canon within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as the Disney Plus. So we have that connection, and it's basically cementing in Tatiana Maslany's character as She-Hulk or Jennifer Walters within the MCU. So we know that we're going to see her in the movies as well. So she's got, job security at this point when it comes to the MCU.
We'll see. Anything can happen. We haven't heard anything about Moon Knight, so we'll see.
Well, we do need a West Coast Avengers, so who knows? But those are my thoughts. I really enjoyed the episode, and I really had a good time watching it, and it unraveled a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we should move into our top fives or our highlights of the episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, season 1, episode 2. Wow. Okay. And yours?
Okay, well, the very first thing off the bat, I love that the little news reel that we're getting of the courtroom, what happened, and they mention we get to see Jamila Jamil's actual face on the screen. She's not on there, but they mentioned that Titania, is that it? Titania
or Titania, however you want to state
like that.
It. Yeah,
the superpowered. They call her a superpowered influencer. So she's not a hero, she's not a villain, but that she was fleeing traffic court when she burst into the room. So it had absolutely nothing to do with the actual case that was being discussed in there. She throws that desk for whatever reason at the jury because reasons, I guess. It's just like, but I just love that we got a mention of her. So I hope that bodes that we're going to see her later in the season come back.
Yeah, same here. Well, you have to realize, too, in the comic books, she was somebody that was opposing to She-Hulk in the comics. And that stems all the way from back in 1984 from Secret Wars, issue number 3. So she was created by Dr. Doom in that comic book and all that stuff. But later on, throughout the She-Hulk runs, she comes back and she becomes one of her biggest nemesis. So... yeah, I think it's somebody that we're not gonna, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see her again.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. But yeah, and the fact is, she's like, oh, she is a super influencer. It's like, oh, you're an influencer like YouTube.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's different. It's different than the comic books, obviously. So
yeah, I know, but I thought it was pretty cool. All right. Well, mine would be, Jen getting fired from GLK&H law firm.
No, she got fired from the district attorney's office. She was hired.
And she was hired by, yes. All right. And, but, they find her and they get her. And I think it's funny, though, how she was so like, wait, what? I have to represent who? No. he tried to kill my cousin. And they're like, well, regardless, it's like, if you don't do this, you don't have a job. Okay, I'll do it. It's like, all right.
Yeah. I love that. And Penny on again, you just mentioned She-Hulk cast, but Penny kind of called it in their first episode, or when they were discussing episode 1, that it looks like she's going to get hired by this other firm. And the guy even confirms you would have won the case. Like you were winning the case.
Yeah.
If this hadn't happened and I was able to get a mistrial declared, you would have won the case. And he says not many people win cases against us, so that's why we're hiring you. So yeah, I like that acknowledgement of her, that she is a really good lawyer. Of course, Penny also mentioned that the other guy's closing remarks, that even she probably could have destroyed the guy in court. So the guy wasn't giving much of a good argument in his closing remarks. But yeah, I just love that they hire her, and again, like you said, she voices concern. Well, he tried to kill my cousin, and he's like, well, he signed a waiver, so you've got to do it. Okay, so yeah.
So grudgingly, she takes the job with the GLK&H law firm, but as a part of the Superhuman Law division.
Yeah,
I think is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to see more people too when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think so. I love we got another show where the superhero, just like in Ms. Marvel, she doesn't like her name and she's hoping to find a different name. Unfortunately, She-Hulk, I think the comics run for 40 years. You're probably not going to get a name change.
No.
Unfortunately, I think you're going to be stuck with it.
Yeah, it's really sad because, it's kind of basically, to quote Jen, she says, that name better not stick. It's so dumb. I can't even exist without being a derivative of the Hulk. Which is very true.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I love that at the beginning with the newscast where the guy says like a chick Hulk. And the other guy looks at the camera and says, you mean a She-Hulk? And he goes, exactly. So
yeah. Well, it's breaking the fourth wall at that point too.
I love it. Yeah. It's really, really cool. Those little things we got. I love that moment when she's walking through the law firm and Mr. I think it's Holloway is describing to her what the job is going to be. And she's breaking the fourth wall talking to us. And so she completely misses everything that he's just said. And so she has no clue what she's walking into. And I thought it was great because we didn't hear it either. So we didn't know exactly what's going to be going on. But then her whole, I'm a bit agnostic,
Right, yeah,
she's
exactly.
like, I'm going to be worrying about that for the next year. I'm worrying about my choice of words there. So yeah, it's really, really cool. Another one for me is I just absolutely loved Mark Lynn Baker and getting another father who is supportive of his female superhero daughter. But, these are two themes that we've got back-to-back shows where we have these things. And I love, he pulls her into the garage, and he gives her that pep talk. And then there's some things she says, and he goes, oh, well, I didn't know about that part of it, but he's supportive and wants to help her out. And it just was really great. When, you think at first he's going to be this bumbling kind of idiot because he says, don't worry, I've already broken the ice. I've already told everybody that you got fired, so you don't have to bring it up. And she's like, what?
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I have to follow up on it. That was my next point too. And I love the fact that we get Mark Lynn Baker on there, who was cousin Larry Appleton or Appleton from Perfect Strangers from 1986 to 1993. I think he was the perfect dad for Jen in this show, and I really did enjoy him. And he wasn't the bumbling buffoon. He was just like the perfect dad to like show caring and everything for his daughter, especially too with what was it, her brother Chet or
I think it was cousin Chet, because this is the guy Chet. That remember in the
first episode.
It might be her brother. I don't. Now that you say that, it might be her brother because Bruce called him cousin Chet. So either he's her brother or he's the son of the other couple that was there, the other uncle or whatever. So I think it's either way. He's part of the family. So
yeah. And apparently he was promoted to manager at Best Buy. So, apparently he was the other genius in the family that they were referring to from the first episode.
Yeah.
Which is funny, too, because he had long hair and he goes, bruh, he looked like a bro dude. Yeah. But whatever. Yeah. But I just love the fact of Jen's family. We got introduced to that and how they embraced everything. I just loved how her father goes, well, they brought up Hawkeye. Well, did they get all the arrows that Hawkeye left? You know, that could be something that could hurt somebody. And they all thought about all that cool
and they
stuff.
all have these different questions for her about different things. She's like, I haven't even met any of these people. Like, I'm not an Avenger. Like I listened closely on my third watch. Just some of those background questions. And like one of the things is, well, Bruce is the one who saved billions of people with just a snap of his fingers, and she's just sitting there and you can just see her on her face. She's just getting more and more just frustrated,
annoyed.
And that's why annoyed. And that's why the dad pulls her into the garage. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mark Lynn-Baker. I hope we get more of him this season. I think we will, because we had that cut after
the end credit scene.
Yeah. With her doing all the things around the house as She-Hulk. It was just hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. They take advantage. Family always does. You know that. It's like, oh, you can do this. Hey, help us. Oh, great. Thanks, Dad. Can you open the door? Okay.
Yeah. My next one is we've already talked a little bit about him, but Tim Roth was just a joy.
Oh yeah,
to watch. He's just chewing up the scenery like crazy. It looked to me, and I hope this is true. It looked to me like he enjoyed playing this character, this Emil Blonsky character, and he brings up these 7 soulmates. He said it twice, so there's got to be something with that. I don't know what's going on there.
It might be a group therapy thing for all we know.
It might be, or it might be some other, but it was really, really cool just to see him. Like I said, he's just chewing up the scenery. But he's great. And he gives her basically the case. He's like, they pumped me up full of super soldier serum. And I thought I was going to be Captain Bloody America, and he's like, I'm on loan from I'm Russian born, British, UK raised. I'm on loan from the UK to the United States government. They sent me out on a mission and I was on a mission. And she's like, but you destroyed half of Harlem. That wasn't really part of your mission,
So that was because of the super soldier serum.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
yeah, that was his defense, which makes sense.
Yeah, I love his whole thing about the haikus. I have this whole book of haikus that he sent one to Bruce, and Bruce mentions it at the end, which we'll get more into that conversation in a minute. But I just like Tim Roth was just absolutely just a blast to watch. He's like he's like namaste. It's like spiritually, I'm better. I've not only changed myself physically and emotionally, but I've changed myself spiritually. You're just like, dude, it was just it. Yeah.
I really think they're pushing for this Thunderbolts show, honestly. But with the fact that they actually gave us Tim Roth, and we've already seen Abomination in Shang Chi, which actually we see those images within this particular episode, and I thought that was so amazing. And I'm like, okay, something came up. Oh, well, he broke out of prison. So Wong wind up taking him out of prison and has been training Emil. And he's like, oh, great. It's like, oh, now it's out there. Somebody has video footage. So it kind of correlates to the MCU because that was within Shang-Chi. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I just love the fact that she got the new job. She's representation of like superpowered beings. Emil as being their first or her first job for this. And I just love that aspect as well. I also love the fact that she had a right to hire her own paralegal, which is Nikki.
That was so great.
So Nikki went with her right along. She goes, check out this office. It's amazing. We got all this stuff. We got a refrigerator. We got this. Oh, it's like, yeah, Nikki is like so gung ho, and I can see why Penny is so happy about her on Podcastica.
Yeah.
But, I think it's pretty cool, though, the fact that you already mentioned with Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky, he talks about the whole Harlem thing. They literally canonize the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. And there's this like kind of thing where Bruce is talking to her from the Sicarian ship, which honestly, it looks like a living room. I don't know about you or everybody else, but honestly, it looked like a living room to me. He was just hanging out, his feet up, on the phone, casually relaxing. I thought he was actually, where was it? In Mexico at the time?
Yeah, he looked like he was in an office or something like that. Yeah. That's what it looked like to me. Was like it had an office because there was like screens in the background. Face out.
Yeah, and then you see
these in the spaceship. Yeah, I love that.
He mentions about the haiku he got from Emil and how it's like, oh, it's in the past. I'm a completely different person now. And then she laughs deadpanned into the it's like the breaking the fourth wall again. Haha, yay, yeah, well, yeah, we all know it's a different movie, or it's like a different Hulk.
Different actor, different everything. Yeah,
everything.
I'm a different person, literally. Like,
yeah.
It's just great for him to acknowledge that. And like you said, there's a lot of people that kind of dump on the Incredible Hulk. They don't like it. Edward Norton didn't want to reprise the role and all that. But
there was a whole bunch of stuff going on when it came to the MCU at that point. Yeah, I understand it. And now we're at they could still bring back Edward Norton, honestly, multiverses.
I mean, with the multiverse, sure. But we've already lumped this into the story, at least into this. So, but that's a whole nother thing. That's just complete. But yeah, no, this was part of my highlights too, was the whole conversation, because it's great when she calls him and she's just going a mile a minute about, I just wanted to call you. And finally he stops her and goes, "You're calling me to tell you that you're taking the case, right?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm calling you to tell you that I'm taking the case." It was just so perfect. Their chemistry is so good, and unfortunately it looks like we may not get him. I hope we get him at the end of the season, maybe, but we might not get him at all because they've got another story to tell with Hulk now.
Yeah,
so.
I really think and I already stated it last time when we recorded for the first episode, I really think they're setting us up for World War Hulk. But the difference is between that in the comics. In the comics, he literally was Hulk for years and had a relationship, a whole family. He had a son and a daughter and a wife and everything.
Yeah.
So he's going back to Sakaar. He is smart Hulk at this point. When he goes back there, he's going to be like, "Oh, you're my son? Your name's Scar?"
That's all speculation, though, because that's the comic book. We don't know. We have no idea what the plot
I'm looking
of
forward to whatever they do at this point, because this is completely different. It's going to be very rewritten. But I'm like, as a fan of the comics, I'm going to be like, Scar's going to be like, "Who are you?" And then
we don't know. I mean, like I said, they could do anything with the Sakaar thing. So
it's true.
All. So but
the
I'm
fact that he's traveling back, that to me was pretty cool, because it shows more that they're doing within the MCU, because they're incorporating everything.
Yeah, and something else he does, when he asks her what her name is, what they named her, he says She-Hulk. He says the name of the series. He says She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. So I thought that was great that we got that mic drop.
Right? So Mark Ruffalo, you just dropped the mic. The only thing last that I have about is Emil has haikus. Apparently he has haikus for all his victims, too.
Mm-hmm.
And he trusts Jen to represent him completely in court. So, and the funny part is that, she was like, "Oh, you forgot to tell me about you breaking out of prison."
Well, no, that's at the end. She hasn't talked to Tim Roth about that yet. That's
how it happens at the very end. Yeah.
At the very end, she gets that look at, "This sucks." She turns to them and just says, "This sucks" to the camera. So I love it. I've only got a couple more notes of stuff that we haven't talked about. When she's applying for different law firms, the backgrounds that you see behind her, you can tell that each office she's going to is getting like dingier and dingier, to where the last one she's at has got like cardboard file boxes on like card tables in the background, because you see she's getting lower and lower down the tier of law firms that she's applying to that is telling her no. And then the guy that comes into with the gift basket calls himself Pug. He says the name of the episode. He's the first one that says Superhuman Law. So I thought that was great. And then there's a map to the best bathroom for pooping, was just, that scene is just hilarious. And at first I thought he called himself Paul, but I had to go back and watch it with the subtitles on. No, he calls himself Pug. I don't know where that comes from, but we'll see.
I'm starting to think that's a character we'll see later on in the show.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, he's part of the law firm, so we've got to see him.
I'm thinking something different, but I don't know. But the fact that he actually found the best place to go, number 2.
Yeah.
In a law firm.
Have you got any quotes that we haven't said yet?
The only other quote that I would have would be from Jen's dad, and him saying, "This isn't the first time we had to deal with a Hulk inside the family. And you didn't even destroy a city."
I've got a few from First off, you can't work there. They don't have good snacks. That was one of those things. And then, of course, you already mentioned about the paralegal thing when Mr. Holloway says, I do not care who your paralegal is. And you hear Jen go, yes, like she just won some negotiating thing there.
But she already had in the back of her head anyway.
Yeah. And then, of course, when she's in the prison and she starts to quote Silence of the Lambs, and the guy says, ma'am, this is a prison. I thought was just great.
The question I have about that was that the raft?
I have no idea. They didn't show us, so
they didn't show us.
It's on the West Coast. It's on the West Coast, though, so I don't know where Tim Roth was. It didn't look like it was an island. It looked like there was a parking lot around.
Yeah, it looked like a parking lot or a regular prison itself. Mm-hmm. So, listeners, if you guys have any thoughts, please let us know. And I thought it was the raft.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. But wasn't the raft on the East Coast? So she would have had to flown all the way over there and then back again.
Very true.
So, I mean, it's possible, but the last one I've got is from Dennis, who's just such a douchebag. When he's in there, he says, there's a hot chick over there. I'm going to go talk to it. Like, he doesn't even acknowledge it. I'm going to go talk to it. I thought, just Dennis, you're such a tool, man. Why are you such a tool?
I know.
So,
these episodes are very short. I've noticed this is shorter than the first one, but they go by so quickly. I actually watched, it was funny too. I actually did an installation at a client's home, and the woman was like, I haven't even watched this. She goes, wow, these go by really fast. And I'm like, yeah. We watched the first episode. She goes, wow, I got to watch those again. I said, watch it twice or 3 times. Yeah. And then I
watched this one like 3.5 times. Cause like I watched it and then I watched it again and I watched it to take notes. And then I backed it up cause I wanted to get that bug thing.
You get so much out of every time. And I said that to her. So she goes, oh, okay, cool. She goes, my husband hates that stuff, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. Watch it. And she goes, I really like it. It's like, wow. Woman really superhero. It's like, yeah, cool. So I watched it as I was doing an installation in somebody's home's phone.
Nice.
So I thought it was pretty funny. But that was our coverage on She-Hulk season 1, episode 2. And I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any thoughts, still please send them down in the comments below in the Facebook page or even on the YouTube when these come out.
Absolutely. And as always, we remind you that you're obviously listening to us on your podcast player of choice. If you can give us a review there, we would love to get that from you, a 5-star review, and see that and give you a shout out here on the podcast.
Exactly. And you can check out our website, panels2pixelspodcast.com.
We are on Facebook at facebook.com/panels2pixels.
We are on Twitter at panels2pixels, which would be panels, the number 2, and pixels.
We have an email address, and that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us is through our email, which is panels2pixels1@gmail.com. That's panels2pixels, all spelled out in words, and the number 1@gmail.com.
And you can find us out on YouTube. So a lot of people like to listen to their podcasts on YouTube because people just like put their product out there just the same as they do on regular podcast player of choice. So all you have to do is search for Panels to Pixels podcast. Give us a thumbs up or subscribe if you like what we're doing.
And we have an Instagram page, which is at Panels2Pixels Podcast, all spelled out in words, Panels2Pixels Podcast.
And we would like everybody else to check out all the other podcasts on the Next Level RadioOnline.com. And you could see Wilhelm, The Melting Pot, Podcast Zero, and so much more.
Coming up, we will have more from the Umbrella Academy Season 3, and of course, the next episode of She-Hulk Season 1. I hope it's Season 1. I hope it's not. I hope they carry this on because I'd love to see her continue and get to do more stuff. I'd love a Season 2, whatever they do with it.
Same here. I'd like to have more, even though we know that the Umbrella Academy, spoilers, everybody, listeners, news. Apparently, Umbrella Academy is only getting a season 4, and that's going to be ending the series. So that was released not too long ago, and I look forward to see what they do with this and how they complete the whole series itself and see how that ends. So we're going to be completing our series, our season 3 coverage of Umbrella Academy. So stick with us there and send in your thoughts.
Absolutely. So, Mark, where else can listeners hear us?
Well, I can be heard on panels. No, I'm already on panels.
This is panels. You're on
panels.
it right now.
I'm on it right now. Oh my God. No, you can also hear me on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. And that can be found on the Pyrocore Entertainment Network. And therein we cover action, adventure, fantasy, thriller, suspense films, anything that gets your adrenaline going. So check that out. Coming out, it should already be up by now. By the time this comes out, is Predator with Steve and I. And we're covering 1987. Was it 87 or 86? 87. Mm-hmm. 87 Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Very cool.
And after that, we're going to be covering Prey. You could also hear me on Podcastica Network. I'm covering The Sandman that's on Netflix with our friend Jamie Dimmick, and we're covering Sandman. We're doing season 1 of Sandman, and it's called Sandman Cast. So all you have to do is go to podcastica.com, and you can check that out there and get the links.
Very cool. For me, I send voicemails to various friends' podcasts, so they hear my voice pop up on those. I want to push TV podcast industries. They're doing quite a bit here coming up. They've got a lot going on. I've tried to send them stuff. I try to send stuff to Mark and Jamie and try to get stuff out there to everybody that I'm friends with that podcast. So, and of course, you can hear me right here on Panels to Pixels.
Yep, of course. And you can hear him on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast too, by the way.
Occasionally.
Yeah. All right. Well, that there ends it, everybody. And basically, well, same podcast, different panel, different pixel. I'm Mark.
I'm Steve.
And this was Panels to Pixels podcast, and we'll see you on the next panel. Good night, everybody.
Good night.